Hi, this is Brian. I'm from JBS Printing. Wanted to do a quick video today to show you the proper way to output a file that is going to be used for printing, for being printed as a physical product when using Canva. As we're getting more and more files from users that are creating their designs and their documents in Canva. This is one of the biggest things that we're seeing is that we're getting the files not set up properly. It's a quick fix. It's very easy to do. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So when you're outputting your file and getting it ready to be sent over to your print shop, can eliminate a lot of problems, a lot of back and forth, a lot of phone calls, and speed up the production. So let's head over to my computer and I'll show you how to do it, and it will take no time at all. So I basically did a quick search for flyers because we can just use a simple template. To show you how to do this. We'll try this one. Again, any template will do. We'll open it up. So essentially what we're seeing when we're getting files from folks that are creating them in Canva is that they're sending us over the files without bleeds and crop marks. And you need bleeds and crop marks if you don't know what a bleed is when it looks like an image or ink is running off of the edge of the page. So it runs all the way to the edge. What you actually have to do is you have to run a bit larger sheet and trim down the edges to get that effect. Might not make sense right now, but it will as we move forward. So right here we have this bleeds. You can see that the ink runs all the way, this kind of green color runs all the way to the edge of the sheet. Now when you're setting up your files, as you can see here, I have show print bleed is checked off. You might not have that checked off when you first open up a document. So one of the first things you want to do is always have show print bleed and have that checked off. And what you will notice is that, I'll zoom in, is that you now have a dotted line around the edge of the document. This dotted line is where your document is going to be trimmed down, and everything on the outside is the bleed. So if you want something printed on the document, just make sure it's not outside of this dashed line. Make sure it's on the inside. So when you're setting up your document, let's just say you wanted to add a photograph to this. And we'll just take any photograph. This is fine. And let's say you wanted this picture to run all the way to the edge. What you have to do is actually, here's the edge of the sheet. You would actually have to make sure that photograph is running off of or extended past the dash line right here. Okay, but you also want to make sure that anything you wanted printed is inside that. So let's say you want to have this person's complete arm in there. You don't want to push it off. You don't want this to be pushed off. His arm right here would get trimmed off. So you want that to extend past, and just make sure that anything you want printed on the sheet is on the inside of the dash line. So, and then you would do that with anything. So let's just say a simple shape. Let's just take, if you want to just drop in a square, and you say, oh, I want this element, let's change the color so you can see the difference. And you wanted this box positioned on your document, and you wanted it to run off the edge. You just would want it to be pushed past that dash line. So that's what the bleed is. That's how you set up the bleed. Make sure that it's all set up. Past those lines as you want it to set up. Now, when you're exporting, you want to go to share. You want to go to download. You're going to go to PDF for print. There's a PDF standard to the PDF print. You want to go PDF print, best for printing. You want to check off crop marks and bleeds. And then you're going to have two options right here under color profile. You'll have one that says RGB, best for digital use. CMYK, best for professional printing. If you're using the Pro version of Canva, you'll see that this has a crown next to it. And those of you that have the Pro version know that that crown means that that's a Pro version feature only. So if you're using the free version, you're only going to have the RGB option. All you have to do there is just call up the print shop that's going to be printing your document. Ask them if they can take an RGB file, and either they can convert it, or they might be able to print right from RGB. Either way, just call them and say, is an RGB file okay for you to get? And they'll tell you one way or the other. And if they need to convert it, they probably can. But if you have the Pro version, output it as CMYK, and that will be fine. And then when you go to download, we're going to download the document. Give me a second just to open this up. I get a lot of programs running in the background, so it's taking a little bit. There we go. And you'll notice as you're looking at this document now, we have these little marks here, and they're on all four corners. And what these marks are is they tell the print shop where to cut this document. So when they go to trim it down, they're going to trim all on these black marks right here. And you can see that this ink, or the green color, extends past those marks, so it's going to trim here and trim here. It's going to trim the tops off and the sides off, so you get that effect to make it look like the ink is running all the way to the edge. And that's your bleeds and your crops. And again, sending your file over like this will eliminate a lot of back and forth. You send the file out without crop marks, and your print shop either has to call you or email you and say that. And if you don't know how to do it, they'll have to walk. So hopefully this will be helpful for you. So let's do that one more time, just to go through the steps. So you have your document, you have your bleeds all set up. You go to download, PDF for print, check off crop marks and bleed. CMYK, best for professional printing if you have that option. If not, just make sure that your print shop can take an RGB file. Download. And there you go. And then you can send that right over to your print shop, and they'll let you know if they have any other questions or if they need anything else from you. But that is the proper way to output a file with bleeds and crops. You don't always have to do it if you don't have bleeds, but I always recommend putting the crop marks in there just so the print shop knows exactly where the trim marks are, even if you don't have a bleed. Again, eliminates a lot of back and forth and a lot of questions. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you have any print needs, my company, JBS Printing, we do everything from business cards to coroplast signs to tablecloths for trade shows, brochures, promotional items. We all do all kinds of different types of printing material and promotional items. If you're ever interested in getting a quote from us, if you have a project coming up, I'll leave a link below to our website and how to get in touch with me. And again, hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it'll eliminate a lot of problems when you're outputting documents and send them over to your print shop. Take care. Have a great day.